Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and the #1 enemy of translucent plastic. It's too late. Random review is about to begin.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel, and now it's time to do a few more reviews for you, but this time it's going to be some deluxes that you might be finding on your store shelves right now, if you are lucky. It's a little bit of a crapshoot right now, I'm not going to lie. But if you get lucky, you are going to find the newest of the 13 to make it to retail, Alchemist Prime. And this one I've been super curious about because this toy looks so good from all the photos and the previews, so we're going to take a look at it today. We're going to see how it actually turned out. Join me, won't you? So, we are looking at a Cybertronian truck, like a heavy armored vehicle, which looks pretty good. This looks like something that would be coming out of Halo. Like that kind of like armored truck. And the dark green that he's got going on for his vehicle mode is really pushing that. Well, with all the dark and like black and like super dark gray elements as well. Looking really good. I would like a little bit more like a consistency of like, because the black looks like it's a little bit random in here, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm not going to harp on it too much. Looking pretty solid. He's, interestingly enough for me, like what jumps out at me here is like translucent blue windshield, which is actually a good shade of translucent blue. It looks nice. I'm weirded out by, like, the fact that he has no windows for the doors, which makes sense because he wouldn't have passengers, but he has a windshield, which makes no sense because he wouldn't have passengers. Yes, I'm aware it's probably an optic sensor. Why couldn't you put him in the headlights? He's got headlights sculpted in. So the funny thing about the way the 13 have been cast so far is they have to look like real-world vehicles to an extent. They have to be recognizable as real-world vehicles, but I'm not sure Cybertronian vehicles needed this, especially like early Cybertronian vehicles. It's a little bit goofy, but hey, we'll run with it. He also has this going on the side, this silver like vent section, traced in a very pale gold. I love when they go into interesting shades of metallics for this kind of toy because this gives it the ancient look that I'm looking for out of the 13. His robot mode's going to do a much better job with it. Here, it's just an odd little detail that's stuck to the side of the vehicle. It gives it a little bit of character, even if it feels a little bit out of place. I'll give it credit. The rear looks fairly solid for a modern deluxe. I usually forget the rear. And yeah, you've got gaps in here, but you know, it's better than I've seen before. You do have rear windows and some sculpted detail for the back as well. So they did a decent job there. I wish the wheels rolled a little bit better. You know, front seems to work a little bit better than the rear somehow. I don't know. But yeah, you can see fairly solid. Like everything looks like it comes together pretty well. The lenses fit up top here on 5mm pegs, so we can go ahead and remove those. Now you have your options for adding weaponry, should you so wish. He doesn't have any other 5mm ports available in this mode otherwise. So it's either the lenses or, you know, this. And it does make him look like a pretty clean truck all the way around. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. He's a nice looking vehicle. Okay, transformation time. Let us see what he looks like when we get into like actual God mode. So we're going to start by undoing the rear section here. I picked a bad time to trim my thumbnails because he's got this one tab in the back that's really stubborn to open up. There we go. So when all of the pegs release themselves, go ahead and open these up as wide as you can. That's going to expose the arms. And I'm going to need all this to rotate, swivel down to get those arms as much reach as possible. We need to get them out of the way now. So I'm going to go ahead and open them up like so. Getting a little bit of clashes. He does clash a little bit here. So you might have to work the panels for the knees just to clear them out of the way so you can get the arms all the way out. Once they are, we're going to go ahead and double hinge this into its final resting place. It's a very tight hinge, but you know, it'll make it. Don't worry. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Now, with the arms completely T-posed, we're going to go down here, separate the legs, fold out the feet like that, then fold these over to complete the legs. Make sure they both snap into place down here below. All right, so lower half done. Top half, I'm going to rotate the torso 180 degrees. We'll wait and we'll do the head reveal last, right? Well, that's the dramatic way to do it. So, there's a part here that I actually really like as far as clever engineering goes. So, you see this green that's tabbed into the black here? So, I'm going to hinge it forward like that. And then this slot is now going to also connect there to form the connection for the torso. And also the hinge that we exposed is going to help hold the shoulders onto the torso as well. That's some clever engineering. I like multi-use engineering like that. So once again, we're going to open up this by bringing the hinge down. And then that new tab and that socket are going to go there to complete the torso connections. All right, so fold the arms down and flip the fists out, just like that. And then we need to get into this panel. And again, I picked a bad day to trim my nails. We have a headless demigod here. Come on. I should have brought a pry bar or something. I did not think this through. Ow. Ow. It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. All right, work the tab to get the hinge all the way out. Close up the chest. And there we're going to have our Alchemist Prime in the robot mode. It's a nice transformation. I like this guy's transformation quite a bit. I really love, like I said, I pointed it out twice because I think it's really clever when engineering is used in two different ways. So to turn all of those connection points that keep those parts together in vehicle mode, opening them up and creating this like multi-lock thing for the arms connecting to the torso. Really, really good. So it's a really, really smart way of designing the toy. And overall, just, yeah, fun transformation. It's got a little bit of everything to him. I'm very happy with him. And speaking of happy, the robot mode is kind of singing to me. And I don't think it's just the green and the gold. I think it's just a very well executed robot mode. Like if I turn him to the side and go like, where's his vehicle kibble? It doesn't exist. This is an exceptionally efficient toy. So yeah, like he works pretty good in that. Before I show you a few other details about him, we will go in close so we can get a good look at the head. The head is an amalgamation of different iterations of the character. You can see a little bit of the Macadam bartender from Cyberverse, as well as a little bit of the G1 as well. A little bit of the Covenant of Primus design in there as well. It's interesting to see how they take all these divergent, versions of these characters and kind of mix them all together to create like the one definitive one that's going to make it to a toy shelf. But also, I really just want to see this guy repainted in Cyberverse colors. So there's that as well. But as long as we're close up here, you can see that the head is done up very, very well. There's a lot of detail going on. The little bit of blue for his goggle eyes, the mustache and like little soul patch down there painted in black. Silver paint, the black paint for the rims. That ancient gold tracing across his helmet and around the collar. That's great. He has nipples. The silver in the midsection, and then the pelvis also features the gold. A little bit more silver there on the forearms just to point those discs out a little bit. Now those spots make sense. They're kneecaps. Silly us. Yeah, very, very good. Very good. Yeah, especially in the midsection where you've got like 4 different colors intermixed and going around. He looks really, really nice. They did a pretty good job color balancing him and painting just enough to make him look really, really detailed. Also, I'm going to show you. I'm going to point this out. I'm going to bring in, because she's just on the desk all the time now. I haven't bothered putting her away. I can bring back Shadow Striker to just kind of show you that he big. Like, Alchemist is big for a deluxe. I kind of figured he'd be a little bit more squat and small because of, like, he tends to be one of the smaller primes depicted. He's usually, like, kind of stout and portly. But no, like, he's built. Like, he's actually a little bit taller than some deluxes I've encountered, and he's a lot beefier, too. I think that comes from how much plastic they saved in the way that his legs come together. They are hollow, but they don't look hollow because of the way they work, so that's a really clever piece of engineering there. Yeah, I think it just afforded him the ability to be a little bit bigger and buffer than you would expect him to be. It's a really, really cool take. I like it a lot. Okay, let me go into articulation rundown before we bring the lenses back in and get those accessories covered. So you do have a ball joint in the head for full range of articulation. Also, that hinge that we brought his head up with during transformation is still in play. You can use that. Universal shoulders, nice to see. You can see the two tabs are doing a pretty good job of holding these panels to the torso and keeping the shoulders secure. Mileage may vary on that, but on mine, works fine. We have a 360-degree rotation here in the bicep as well. We have a 90-degree elbow bend, nothing in the wrist this time. We have waist joint, works very well. Universal hips, love to see that. 360 degrees in the thigh. We have a 90-degree knee bend and an ankle rock. So pretty much all the standard levels of articulation for a modern generation's toy. Yeah, just looking really good. He's looking really good. This guy's buff. For a bartender, he looks like he could take you out if he wanted to at any time. Okay, let's get some things in here. So we know his accessory are the lenses. And we can play around with these quite a bit. So, for starters, they do fit into his hands. So, they do have these little blades sculpted into the top. So, they are kind of passing as daggers. But really, they're just going to look like tools no matter what you do. They just are. So, that is what it is. I've technically got them backwards. So let's switch the hands a little bit. There we go. I don't know. I don't like the beefier side to the back. I don't know. That's just my personal preference. Now, cool thing about this. Let's go and rotate everything like so. Do the same thing over here. Get that all lined up correctly. And with it like this, you can actually slot the lenses together to create the complete goggle. So that's actually a cool trick to make sure that he can actually connect like that in this mode, holding both at the same time. I will say in vehicle mode, you could almost connect the combined glasses in the vehicle mode. Doesn't quite work though, just a little bit off, and it's kind of annoying, just a little bit. The lenses themselves are kind of fascinating because, one, you do have the Alchemist symbol printed on one. I think that'd get in the way of your view, personally. Up there, you have the ancient Autobot logo that you first saw in the flashbacks from Five Faces of Darkness. That's the ancient Autobot logo. That's super cool. But then the other one, it's the Unicron symbol, or the Blendtron symbol, depending on which fiction you're reading at the time. Seeing ancient Autobots on one side and Unicron on the other, it does invoke this idea that the lenses can literally see all ends of the universe, from the ancient times and the good guys to the inevitable entropy of the universe that is Unicron. That's actually a really cool little detail to throw in. So it's fascinating to think that Alchemist is actually keeping an eye on Unicron of all things, who usually somehow manages to sneak up on Cybertron despite being, approximately 8 trillion tons of metal. But, is what it is. So, I like to end off on a little bit of an action pose, just kind of show the range of articulation. And that, my friends, is going to be Alchemist Prime. If I can get him to balance. He's really good. he's a really, really good figure. Articulation is all there. Paint is good. Transformations super smooth. Great clean robot mode. Like, I can't say enough. Like, this is probably my favorite of the primes so far. And that says a lot. Like, Megatronus is great too, but there's just something satisfying about this figure and its efficiency. Like, I just love how the whole thing works and comes together. So, if you find him, absolute must buy. This is a very, very good sleeper candidate for like my top 10 of the year list so far. Like, he just does everything right, and I love to see it. So that's it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.